Welcome to Boss Up. Get ready to elevate your game with your dynamic hosts. First up, we have the visionary powerhouse, Dan D. Johnson, who's a failure transformation expert and a financial literacy and business coach with a wealth of knowledge to help you scale and grow. And joining him is the inspiring and charismatic Shada Amour, your corporate expert and life coach, ready to share insights on leveling up your life and relationships. Together, they'll guide you on a journey to unleash your potential and boss up. Now, welcome Shada Amour and Dan D. Johnson.
What's up? What's up, Dan? I see you grooving. What's up? You're muted, though. You can't even tell us what's up right now.
I'm just saying, you got to let the music marinate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Home, you got to have a little layover to get because we grooving. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. You're grooving. What's up?
No,
Happy
it's all good.
Tuesday.
Man, listen, it's not Taco Tuesday because I don't have no tacos. So it's Happy Tuesday. It's Happy Tuesday. You got to be something special about Tuesday. What you know what's special about Tuesdays?
What's special about Tuesday?
What's special about Tuesdays is I get to do Boss Up with you on Tuesday.
Let's go.
I call it. It's like Terrific Tuesday. It's a terrific Tuesday because I get to boss up with you on Tuesdays. Absolutely amazing.
I'm so excited today because we have a friend of mine coming on who is so amazing. And I'm excited first to be with you and that we get to do this another week and get to really help and like really showcase so many great businesses that are out there and help people boss up. So I'm excited about that part. I'm excited that I get to do it for someone who has supported me so many times. And so I'm just excited. I'm excited to bring her to the stage.
I was just talking about me that has supported you so many times. I was like, I'm already here. I mean, I'm here every week supporting you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
And you haven't even. I asked you, could I use your EBT? You said no.
What?
Well, you didn't say no. You just said you got to wait till you get some more added on.
I don't. I'm so sorry. I don't have that. Okay, you're acting crazy. That's why it's time for us to bring our guest, Taisha, to the stage. Who Miss Glam Girl ready?
I got to tell you. Hey, she came for the main show, and I came for rehearsal. So, you came ready. What's up, Taisha? How you doing?
I am doing wonderful, and you guys are so sweet. Of course, I'm going to be ready for my friends, podcast. We go back, and we've been a great support and blessing to each other. So I'm ready. I'm here. I'm present.
We're so excited. We're so excited to hang out with you and learn more about your business.
Well, I got a question. So how long, you say they go way back. So how long y'all go way back?
Well, to be honest, I can't say it's way back.
Okay.
But we've been rocking almost 5 years.
I've been 5 years.
That's a long time. People don't last with me 5 minutes. I see them 5 minutes. I'm done. 5 days is amazing. 5 weeks, really in there.
In these times, quickly. So
yeah.
Shada is amazing. She has also inspired me in so many ways. I got to be a part of one of her amazing women's retreats and got to meet her and really get to know her right before transitioning to Texas right around COVID. So we've been hanging in there. I've been a part of her group chats and just really cheering her on and just really just allowing, just amazed at what God is doing for her and through her as well. So much growth, so much wisdom, and just such a pure heart. And I'm so happy to be a part of this.
Yes, thank
you. Wow. You know what? Let me say, wow. I was getting all gooey eyed and stuff. I was like, wow,
But what
What a
I think
friend we
is, you
have in
know what, Dad, we're not doing the foolishness. We are here to hear about this business that you have. And what's amazing too about Taisha is she has multiple businesses. She's also a strong believer, and really, really seeks God and prays. And I think that's why she's been so prosperous and successful in her businesses. So, would you tell us just a little bit about your business and
Absolutely.
works and how you can help people?
Yeah, so thank you for that beautiful intro. I'm so humbled to be here. God has been really good to me. I started off as an entrepreneur around the age of 20. And I have over 20 years. Let's to not tell my exact age.
Yeah, we're not gonna say all of that. That's just
you
you
know,
only 21.
but
So
So you said you started about 20. So you've been in entrepreneur game about 7 years now.
about
But
7
then you
years.
said 20.
Seven.
So I was
So,
like, oh, I
so we
thought I
got
heard,
a whole lot packed in that 7 years, right?
yeah.
So God has just been amazing. And so I will say that it started as a traveling hairstylist. And then after so many years of doing that, doing work for TV and film, a lot of on-set work, it then led into me realizing how much of a need credit was. And so in 2013, I was transitioning out of Atlanta after living there for a few years. I left my windy city of Chicago and decided that I wanted to get full time into credit because I began to see in Atlanta how hard it was to get ahead out there without proper credit. And so I myself fell on bad times, hard times as a single mother raising two kids, two boys. And I went ahead and sought out help with how to get back on my feet with getting a home and a rental after having an eviction on my credit. And so from that challenge, it kind of led me to realize that so many people were in hotels or living with cousins and moms and people that they didn't want to live with just to try to have a roof over their head. And so I began to say to myself, wow, credit is really a need. I see the need of it in my own life. And I did. I birthed TNG Credit Solutions. May 2014. It has been 11 years. And
wow.
yes, and I will say that within my first 3 years, I grossed my third year, my first six figures in my business. And I've been a six
Come
figure
on, six figures.
ever since. So God has really blessed this credit journey. I've helped so many people, and I'm grateful that I can give solutions. TNG Credit Solutions stands for Taisha Nicole Givens Solutions. And that's what I do. I provide solutions depending on people's scenario, from evictions to low credit scores to needing a few extra points to get a home, a car. We have found ways to achieve things. And right now, we're really becoming more on a celebrity, high profile clientele, stream. So God is good. He's really blessed these strategies.
Yes, TNG Solutions. Let's go. And I mean, I think what's so amazing is it came out of what God brought you through. And then now you're using that to help others. And I think like I also think that's why you're blessed in doing it, because it wasn't just for you. Like God didn't just do that for you. He did it so that you could help others. And so just
Absolutely.
thank you for doing that. That's so
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
What's the best way to connect with you? So I want to make sure that I get that out there. Hey, Cynthia, I see you, girl. What's the best way to get in contact with you for anyone who is? And then we'll jump into focusing on like how you gonna boss up your business this year. So,
Absolutely.
all right. So, what's the best way to contact you?
So, for anyone who needs help with credit and you really just don't even know where to start, you can reach me a few different ways. www.T for Tom, N for Nancy, G for Girl, credit solutions, all one word, tngcreditsolutions.com. I do have a credit repair section on there where you can fill out Calendly, and you can provide your information, and you can set up an appointment for me to look at your credit for 75 and just analyze everything and just see what it is that you need. Those are for people I like to do consultations that may not have ever worked with me or have not been a referral, so that you can feel comfortable with the knowledge that I have as I can tell you about your own credit situation. So that's one way. Also, I am very active on my social media pages, TikTok and and Instagram. So if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, it's TNG Credit Solutions _ TikTok is Taisha TNG Credit Girl. So any of those would be fine. You can leave a message.
Okay.
I think it's great because you can see my work testimonials and things like that as well.
All right, great. Okay, so we're going to make sure to put that out there again. But let's jump into, what do you feel like is your biggest problem this year? Like a problem that you want to solve in your business?
Wow. I don't know. The timing of this is really something. Because guess who was 7 minutes late on this podcast? Because I gotta make sure that I'm ready. So
Yes, girl.
yeah. That let's talk about time and
Mm,
time management. And when you really begin to ask God to expand and enlarge your territory, you need to be ready for it, because when he does, it's going to come and you're
mm,
going to be pulled in a lot of different directions. And to have the weight of people on you, it's a blessing and it's also a burden. And so what I like to tell people is, for me right now, I'm here back home in Chicago. I just saw my mom for the first time in 5 months today, right?
ah,
I can't even sit with my mom for 30 minutes without being distracted by what last minute work I need to do on my phone, or
got
one
it.
last file I need to send to my VA. And so now that I have begun managing my artist as well, like you said, I wear all these hats. It's just so many things that are needed, and to have the proper balance is very important. I think that for me, the challenge is for me to make sure that I can be present in the moment
Mhm.
of everything that I am doing, to give adequate time to the clients, to family first, and next to God, of course,
Yeah.
family, the clients, your personal friendships and relationships. Just fitting that all into today's time in our life is very hard. If I can be honest, it just feels like time has sped up. I don't feel like
Uh,
getting the same 24 hours in a day.
I feel you. I think lots of us are dealing with this. So yes, let's talk about it.
It's a
Let's talk about
challenge.
it.
It's a heavy one. And so, let's if I can take it a step further, God requires our time,
Mm,
and I began to feel the burden of, we want the Lord to bless us in our business and our money and every other aspect.
right.
But when do you put the proper time in with him and make sure you keep him first? We always say God first, but is he really first? Because
Yeah.
what happens is, a lot of times we start to feel the challenges in the business because God is not where he should be, when you are a real believer and you know that
Yeah.
he will not share his glory or his place with anything or anyone. And so sometimes it's those turbulences that come through your business, or things are not going
Yes.
the way that you want, because we haven't figured out how to get time in its proper place.
I
And so
love
I
this.
won't sit here and tell you guys that I have it all together. A lot of days it's just a scramble to make sure that everything is where it needs to be, but that God is in the forefront. And as you begin to, develop in your business, and you go higher and higher, and you begin to reach more people, and then you begin to deal with high level clientele, there is still a need for you to be able to pull away and
Yeah.
to take a break and to take a breather and to remind yourself that you are worthy of that time for just adequate rest, to just kind of have your moment with God and to just be refilled. And I have to really deal with that challenge. That is my biggest challenge right now.
Okay, great. So, how many of you guys who are watching it right now, that's your biggest challenge? Like, I'm gonna say me. Time is for real because we trying to pack everything in so many times we're not present, or like you said, just that time with God that we need. So if that's you, put me in the chat. Hey,
Wow.
we not judging, okay? We listen and we don't judge, right?
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
all right. So Dan, what you thinking? What's up?
I just got one question for you, Miss Taisha. You're absolutely fabulous, absolutely amazing. You got a lot of stuff going on, but are you really, really ready to boss up?
I'm ready. I'm
You
ready.
ready to boss up.
I'm ready.
All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, what I heard you say is that your biggest problem is time management. That was one thing I heard you say.
Absolutely.
The second thing I heard you say is that you are ahead of many hats. And because you are ahead of many hats, the issue is that how do you manage time to manage the hats?
Correct.
The first thing I need you to understand is the biggest problem you've had is that you've had the problem of trying to manage something that is not manageable.
Mm-hmm.
You can't manage time. When you manage something, that means you have some sense of control over it.
Correct.
That means you have the ability to cause it to move, not move, go, not go, do what it does what you tell it to do because you're managing it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't manage time because time is going to move whether you like it or not.
Correct.
The
Very
only thing that you can manage is yourself within the time that you've been allotted. I'm like you. I'm a praying man, and I told God about 20 some years ago that He did not give me enough time in the day to get done all that I needed to get done.
true. Mm.
And I said I needed at least, if you I said, God, you give me 30, if you give me maybe 6 more hours, 8 more hours, I may be able to sleep.
Ah, sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that either.
And so and so what he did was ask this question: what's stealing your time
Mhm.
and killing your productivity?
Mm-hmm.
I coach CEOs that have this problem. I train leaders that have this problem. And one of the things that I do is I have them to look at everything they do for 168 hours, which is 7 days, 1 week. And every half hour, I want them to document what they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And number one, you're going to see where your time is being wasted. The
Wow.
second thing you're going to do is you're going to see where your time can be reallocated.
Mhm.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But the
Absolutely.
issue with managing yourself within time is called managing these hats. You got to manage these hats, right?
Right.
Now, I'm going to bring out 6 things that I think may be an issue. And I need you to tell me if this is the case or not. And then if this is the case, then what we're going to do is be able to help you deal with these 6 things. And then if you want to go further, we'll be able to go further offline. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, every hat desires your undivided attention. Would you say that's true?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Number two, every hat comes with its own set of responsibilities, needs, and decisions. Would you say that's true?
Correct.
Number three, some hats you are required to wear you don't like to wear, but you need to wear. Would you say that's true?
You have to, the children and stuff like
What? She said I gotta wear them things, Master Q. All right. All right. All right.
that.
Number four,
Get away from that.
Can't
some
wait
ha- some hats don't fit, but you have to wear it in for this season.
that.
Yeah, that's how life works.
Okay. Okay. And some, watch this, some hats you wear, others cannot see,
Oh,
Mm.
that's true.
but you're still wearing it. And then the last one is this: you can't wear all of the hats at the same time.
That's true.
All right. So I'm going to give you 5 things real quick to help you to manage these hats. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this term called prioritization. prioritization. And basically what this is, Taisha, is the process of deciding the relative importance and or urgency of the hats you're wearing. Like prioritization says that you begin to arrange your hats in the order of priority. And you gotta fight the feeling that everything is going to be everything is a priority. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So the question becomes, you got to ask yourself three questions. Number one, is this something you need to do? Is it something you want to do? Or is it something you can trust someone else to do?
That's good.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Wait. So is this something you need to do? Is this something you want to do? Or is this something you can trust someone else to do?
Is it something you could trust somebody else to do?
Correct. Okay, yeah.
Because one of the things I had to learn, because I wear 18 hats. And one of the things I had to learn with the 18 hats that I wear is that I had to learn how to neglect some hats without being negligent. Yeah.
I agree. Yes.
So the question becomes, how do you neglect some hats without becoming negligent? That's the second thing. It's called negotiations.
Okay.
You got to know how to negotiate with the hat. Is this making sense?
What does that mean? Negotiate with the hat? What do y'all think that means?
Yeah. So if you think about what negotiation is when two or more parties will come together to reach an end goal, but through compromise and or resolution that is agreeable for all parties involved. So it has to be a win-win situation. So she mentioned her children.
Okay.
Because one of the hats that she wears is a mother.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But she also mentioned that she is a manager of artists. Right? Yeah. So here's the thing. The schedule comes out. And when the schedule comes out, her son has an event that he wants her to participate on. It's an event that she has supported before.
Okay.
But he does it better when mama is in the room.
Yeah.
And she knows exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but she got that one son that is active, that she shows her mama support. And for whatever reason, when mama in the room, he feels like he does a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And he can look up. Which son is that?
This my daughter.
Your daughter. Okay. I knew it was one of them. It's your daughter. And so she feels a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But now this artist has this big event to get the biggest break of the year that she had been working on for some time, and it's a scheduling conflict. And now both hats, the manager hat and the mommy hat, are competing for one another.
Right.
And so now she has to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
She goes back to prioritization. She always see which one's the top priority in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most important, but the top priority. When you start looking at most important, you could try to feel guilty to say, oh, well, that's not. But when it's top priority, it's understanding the sequence. Correct. So then mommy goes and negotiates with daughter and say, baby, I was on this last one. I love you. I support you. Mommy is there for you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be there, but I'm going to have somebody video for you because I got to do this. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm always there. I'll be at your next one. That's the power of negotiation.
Correct.
She has satisfied both hats, but reallocated the priority of the hat in the moment.
Yes.
Am I helping you so far, Ms. Taisha?
This is where I'm at with real life.
This way you're at. And so the goal of any negotiation is to win-win.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is it creates dialogues really an atmosphere for dialogue instead of monologues, because dialogues causes agreements, monologue causes arguments.
Right.
Right.
That's
So
right.
it creates tension. So number one, prioritization. Number two, negotiation. And then number three, delegation. That's the third thing, delegation. And basically that's shifting the authority or the responsibility of a particular task to somebody else, right? Now, in a delegation, you're empowering somebody else to get it done for you.
Correct.
And so one of the things as a guy that wears 18 hats, I have to understand the power of delegation. Now, here's a couple of things I need you to understand with delegation. It may not, you got to accept the fact it may not get done exactly like you will get it done.
That's a good one. It might not get done.
So part of delegation is releasing a little bit of control. And then learn how to delegate based on the bottom line. And as long as it doesn't compromise your integrity, as long as it does not compromise your brand consistency, as long as it doesn't compromise the outcome and it gets the bottom line, delegate and allow somebody else to do it.
Correct. I agree.
Does that make sense?
That's the part.
And you got to be willing to, when you delegate, it's okay to let them make mistakes because they grow through it.
Correct.
That's good.
A lot of times we don't even know how to train people that we're delegating to actually do it the way we do it. And so, but we expect them to do it the way we do it. So the best experience a lot of times after we've trained them is to help grow them through the mistakes that they're going to make.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't put them in a position to make a mistake that can break you.
Correct.
So is this making sense? So number one, the prioritization. Number two, I just want to make sure negotiations. Number three,
delegation.
All right, watch this. Number four, elimination.
Elimination, yes.
You got to start examining what hats occupying unnecessary space. Because just because you've been gifted to do a lot of things don't mean you got to do everything. You got to begin to have this mission statement for your brand and for your life. And then everything that you do, you have to consult your mission statement as to whether or not you should actually be doing it.
Correct.
You also got to measure the ROI of some of these hats. What is the return on investment? If I was to get rid of this hat, if I was to eliminate this hat, because then how would it affect my bottom line?
Right.
Because what I've learned is every hat is not necessary.
Right.
Is this making sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then
what's the one that, sorry, Dan. So thinking about in your own life, what's one that you have eliminated?
Who, me?
Yeah.
So I was the executive pastor of 2 churches. Just because I could. I eliminated it. I was the vice president of a multi-million-dollar health and wellness company. I got paid. It was cool. I eliminated it.
Was it because it didn't align to your mission, or which one?
I had to. I still have relationship with it, but it wasn't part of my purpose.
Right.
It was just part of my gift, my grace. So it was but it was occupying a lot of my time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got rid of both churches, Pastor?
No, just one.
Oh, okay.
I got rid of one, and what I did was I negotiated because I love that church. It's a wonderful church. But I couldn't be at all these different places, traveling the world, and be integral to all of these to both hats.
Right.
Yes.
So what I did was I negotiated, and I became a consultant instead of a staff member.
Got it. Okay, so audience, what about you? What's something you need to eliminate so that you can have the time that you need. I'm trying to reflect on that. I know for myself, one of the things I need to eliminate is
One of these dang on social media pages. You got like 12 social media pages.
here we go. That's what my cousin told me. She was
Yeah.
like, "How many pages do
I
you
don't even know how
have?"
you keep up with it. You don't have enough room for nothing else on your head. You got 10 Facebook pages, 12. I mean, I'm sorry, Taisha. I've been acting
That
up.
is
So
so funny.
no, you're not gonna do me. You're not gonna do me in front of everybody. Okay. Anyway,
I don't even have these other pages of it.
what you say?
I'm just
Listen,
playing.
hey,
Taisha,
listen,
don't do that. Don't do me like
my
that.
girl ain't playing. She ain't playing with
She ain't get those pages to me.
Stop it. Okay, go to your last point. Moving on. Moving on.
it. No, come on, girl. That was fun. Listen, you gotta admit that was fun. Don't get me later, because if
She's so occupied, she forgot to give me the other 10 pages.
I don't have that many. He is tripping. I cannot. I
Daughter, see, you gotta have a
cannot.
long talk.
What is your last point? Because this has turned a whole nother
no,
way.
no, no. Listen, you know I'm silly. You know I gotta. That's my girl, y'all. I love you so
That is so funny.
I cannot.
Oh my God.
Okay. The last one is meditation.
Oh,
Meditation is so important. You want to know why meditation is so important?
why?
Because you got to free your head of all of the stuff that's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation gives your thoughts an opportunity to breathe clearly.
Mm.
And when you're so busy and you don't have time to chill, when you're
Mm.
so busy that you don't have time to be with yourself,
Right.
then it's not good, because you're not able to have a mental reset. You're
Mm.
not able to have a spiritual reset. And
Right.
and you're not able. She told me that you got a strong prayer life. You're powerful in the realm of the spirit. But how can you hear your spirit when your soul is screaming so loud?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you got to have meditation. Meditation does three things. It allows for mental cleansing. It allows for mental relaxation, and it allows for mental planning.
Mm.
What I seek to do every night is I have a woosah moment. And when I have my woosah moment, everything is quiet,
Yeah.
everything is chill. It's almost like right before I go to sleep. And I meditate 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I do my productivity list for the next day.
Wow.
Because it's after that moment that I've had a chance to see things. I've had a chance to clear my head of the day. Now I can read the fine print.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we miss the fine print because we're moving so fast,
Correct.
you know, and so it gives clarity. And so those are the things. There's so much more I could share with you today, but we don't have time. And so I just got one question for you, Miss Taisha.
Yeah.
You feel that even though you're already a six-figure chick, no pun intended, even though you already been glamorous and celebrity style for a long while, did you come on this show tonight, this podcast, and do you feel like you just been bossed up?
I do. It really just reiterated confirmation, you know,
Mm.
Mhm.
this confirmation, because some of the things that you mentioned are things that I'm actually working on. I just hired a personal assistant
Yeah,
and it's been phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
only been 7 days, but
yeah.
yeah, it is time to delegate and
I'm the delegate.
eliminate.
And be okay with it, because that was my thing. I now have a VA and I've delegated, but then it's still stuff that I'm like, oh wait, let me tweak this, let me da da da. And I think that for me, even saying that you have to be okay with like they're not going to do it exactly like you. And then what's the most important thing that's giving you the biggest ROI? Like, how am I getting the biggest return? Like, some of the stuff I gave them, that's not really giving me return. It's good stuff, but it's not giving me like the biggest thing that I could be doing. And so I think
I don't want to really change gears because we might need a part two for this.
mhm.
And I would love to hear Dan's feedback. I don't want to. I really need to say this. The other thing that I think is a challenge and is something that we need to discuss for single women in business is when you attract a lot of male clients,
Mm,
and because there is a need and there is a something that you need fulfilled in your life in the area of romance and relationship. One of the things that I have noticed in the last 1 year is that there's a greater level of pulling that comes from men where they want to get my attention to birth their businesses and birth this and birth that. And
mm,
it has really been something that I have never seen like I have in the last 2 years. It's been very draining. And so I've really had to get into counseling with my spiritual leaders and really come to grips that in this season of my life, I may have to fall back on a lot of male clients, even because it's bringing a level of,
I get it. I get it.
mhm,
It's tough. And
it,
it, yeah, and it speaks to some legitimate needs. And the problem is these males and they become illegitimate resources,
mm,
and it muddies the waters.
yeah.
It compromises the integrity of what you're supposed to be there for in the first place. And so how do I navigate being in business as a single woman, and I'm in business to make money and they fit my client profile,
Mhm,
but it causes internal
mhm,
tension
yeah,
with who I am just as a female.
mhm,
So how do I do that? I think one of the things you'll have to do is you'll have to establish boundaries. You got to establish boundaries. And those
yes,
boundaries look like um, how much time you're communicating with them. I understand it. Um,
affirmation.
how much time are you spending with them? Number two, um, you may have to shift your main mode of communication.
mm,
So you can't spend, so we may spend 15 minutes on a Zoom, but the rest of the time is being spent via email communication. And you have to be very strategic, very specific, and very concise
mm,
on what the piece is.
I
Uh, when
agree.
when you feel it shifting through the flirting, through the complimenting,
mm,
through the, you know, let's have dinner, let's talk over dinner, all of the things that are legitimate needs and or desires,
mhm,
then you have now that you have an assistant,
Yep.
you, you see what I'm saying? You work through
mm,
the assistant.
That's right.
You
yeah.
know, everything you don't have to do.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me, and you do this. Let me check with I'm not available. But what I'll have my assistant do, you fill out the client profile.
Correct.
She's going to meet with you
That's right.
via Zoom, and then you submit it, and I'll review your file. And then here's how you do it. You manage the expectations up front.
That's right.
And what
Mhm,
you say to them up front is due to the fact of the demand. I love to service you, but I want to let you know I'm not the one, I'm not your primary contact.
Correct.
You know, we have an entire system, an entire team
Correct.
that works to get your project done.
That's exactly good and confirming.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
so those are the two challenges that you brought today. One is how to manage yourself within the time that's given, because you learn you cannot manage time. And then number two, how to keep certain things at bay so you could keep your heart protected and covered. So again, I asked this question, girl. Have you been bossed up?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was really needed. And
This was so much fun.
yeah, I love it.
All right. I'm going to make sure that her information is here for people who, hey, you might be trying to buy a house, a car, take care of stuff for your business. Like, you need to contact her. And then
I have something that I've been keeping a secret that I need to share with you.
Oh, what?
Off the air.
I was about to say, you said a secret and share with you, and you said like, "Yay! Tell the world."
Tell the world.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. I've learned in this season that you do have to
just keep it to yourself.
Discretion is important.
Until it's finished.
Come on.
Yes, girl. Okay,
then you pop out. Uh-huh.
All right, so we're gonna get ready to close. Taisha, we're gonna put you in the room. Don't go nowhere, girl, because
these messages will be right back.
I want to hear it. But just thank you guys for hanging out with us as we really talked about managing ourselves. We can't manage our time. We can manage ourselves. And then that last question, baby, it got hot, a little heated in here. I'm like, yes, how do you deal?
I lost my hair. I came home with hair. The hair just left me. I don't know.
But that was real. And so I hope you were encouraged tonight. If you're interested in being on our show, please reach out, message us. We will also drop a link in the chat for you to reach out to us. And then we will also have the information if you are trying to get your credit together. What do you need to do? And then what's up as we close?
Hey, listen, boss up, boss up, boss up.
And that wraps up another empowering episode of Boss Up. Join Dan D. Johnson and Shada Moore on the next episode of Boss Up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow Dan and Shada on all social media platforms for more insights and inspiration to boss up your life. Until next time, remember to keep shining, keep grinding, and always boss up.
Thank you.